Ahoy cruise enthusiasts, big news. Okay, not really big news, but MSC has decided to introduce an AI concierge that they are calling, wait for this, wait for the creativity in this name, the MSC Concierge. I know. What was Virgin's? They just did one too. I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And this is going to start appearing, I guess, in MSC for me at some point in the future. This is likely the evolution or replacement for the little Zoe devices that they had on the Meraviglia-class ships. Although I'm pretty sure that they were on another ship. It could have been either MSC Seashore or MSC Magnifica. I remember seeing it because I remember thinking, oh, I've seen this in a video. Let me try it. And I never did. So anyway, I will say that despite AI being a little bit wonky, and I think the fad is kind of over. It was novel for a while and people were like, okay, whatever. This could be really great. It really could be great because this is a pretty limited and focused implementation. And, there is a lot of potential to, make the cruise experience just a little bit more, I would say manageable, but take the guesswork out of things or make things a lot more discoverable, right? And it's because it's nice contained environment on the cruise ship. So I just thought I'd sit down and talk to all of you a little bit, and MSC, who is no doubt watching this video. So here you go, MSC. Oh, by the way, before we get started, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. That would be absolutely fantastic. Don't bother with the bell. I don't do it for anybody, so I'm not going to ask it of you. And if you find this interesting, useful, or whatever, go ahead and hit the like button. And I think I'm also supposed to say, if you don't like it, then go ahead and hit the dislike button twice because that counts twice. Yeah, absolutely. So MSC Concierge. Okay. All right. People are used to using the chat bots now. People talk about it a lot, and so that's not something MSC is probably going to have to overcome, depending on the audience. I suppose the kids, will pick it up almost immediately. But I do hope that it does have a voice component and not just a chat component. That would be pretty awesome. We do not expect it to have full-on conversations. That's, leave that to Grok, right? But for anything on the cruise ship, it would be nice to interact with it using a voice prompt. Of course, have several selections for how it talks to you, how it talks back to you. Everything. Obviously the male and the female, and I go maybe the old salty captain, or a pirate. Come on, you can imagine the AI talking to you like a pirate. That would be pretty awesome. So, but in terms of what it does, here's the thing, MSC. This could be great. Like I said, this could be really, really great. But don't try and do everything at once, right? Don't try and just jam everything in there and release it and have everything just kind of break down, which is usually what happens, right? Start small and plan to make it better over time. That's how all great software is developed. And I just don't want you to overreach, it not really work out, and then you pull the plug on it. Because like I said, this could be great. And, it's fine if it just starts with information. Just get information about the cruise ship, the basic information like, oh, what is my dining time? And what time do the water slides open tomorrow? What time does this open tomorrow? Stuff that is usually harder than it needs to be to find in the app. And this is not just a dig at MSC for me. Almost every cruise line, the app, it's hard to find opening times and stuff. I don't know why. Most of it, well, actually, I do know why, because there's a lot of stuff going on and they have to put it somewhere. So, and it's not really consistent. But yes, it would be very easy and awesome just to ask, what time do the water slides open tomorrow? Okay. And all that just basic stuff. However, no reservations. The first version does not need to make dining reservations or spa reservations or anything like that, right? Just information. But it has to get it right. It has to be right and accurate and reliable. And if it doesn't know, just say you don't know. But it should never say I don't know, especially when asking you about the ship. Okay. And I know this is going to take a lot of coordination among the different departments because they're going to have to keep the schedule updated, right, in whatever app does the schedules. But right, that's what you got to do. I mean, that should be done anyway. I'm sorry. Even if you teach it to read the guide, right, that's one way of doing it. But it has to be accurate, okay? And it has to get the simple things right? The very, very simple things right. Like, what time does the water slides open? Okay, it can't say like, 6 p.m. No, it's just that doesn't work, right? And that's why I say, just start with the basic information, because I have learned throughout my long career in the software business, users will forgive something that's not there. If it just doesn't do it, right? If there's no way to make a dining reservation in by the concierge, people will just kind of like, oh, okay, it's not there, whatever. They won't forgive, and they will remember things that don't work, right? So if it asks, oh, would you like to make a reservation? Oh, yes, I would like to make a reservation at 7 o'clock. I'll make that for you. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make that for you. No, they won't even try again. Trust me. So get it right or don't do it, okay? If there's any dense legalese to using this, take care of that, like during check-in. Like when you're checking into the app, right? Just another button, yes, I grant the MSC Concierge access to my onboard account, blah, 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 blah. Just do that ahead of time. Nobody wants to sit there and click through screens and answer a bunch of questions when they just want to know what time the water slide's open, okay? Right, just do that. And there's other things that I think, we've seen, like, especially MSC, we just saw the video recently, where they weren't guests actually, confused the ship time and non-time. Yes, and this, by the way, I would love this because I make a big deal about the clocks on cruise ships all the time because they're never right? If you ask the MSC concierge what time it is, again, this absolutely has to be accurate. Absolutely. There's literally no excuse for this to be inaccurate. And if it is ever inaccurate, that means whatever chaos ensues because of that is your fault. And it should be very clear about what time it is on the ship and what time it is on land, right? So if somebody asks when they're leaving, oh, hey, MSC concierge, what time is it? It is 8 a.m. aboard the ship, but remember, it's actually 9 a.m. ashore. Please be back an hour ahead of time, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you do this and you store the chats and people are late, you can actually show them the chat. Hey, look, we told you. The concierge told you that shore time is different from ship's time. So yeah, you're still late. So yeah, that's on you, right? And another fun thing that would be awesome to add is just a where are we, right? A lot of cruise lines do have like a board somewhere where they show you where the ship is. Okay, where are we? You say, hey, MSC concierge, where are we? And just honestly, you could just give the coordinates and maybe it's just some relative bearing. Most of the time, it's going to be fairly technical. People aren't going to know what port you're talking about, but hey, you might as well do that. And in fact, if you ever offered the feature of like, oh, what's that cruise ship near us? Okay, if it only answered, if it was another MSC ship, I would be okay with that. Okay, we don't expect you to identify, everyone else's ships, but if it's MSC World America, oh, that's MSC World America. Would you like to book a cruise on MSC World America? Absolutely. In fact, if you do get this right and the concierge has access to like the future cruise desk like schedules and whatever they're doing, or even their presence, right? That'd be kind of creepy, but whatever. Then it could suggest, oh, they're not busy right now. Why did you head down on deck 4? So, things like that. Just be very helpful, just to answer all those mundane questions to save people a lot of time from clicking in the app. But I'm telling you, it has to be nice. It has to be conversational, with some fun voices, and it has to get it right. Okay, that's why you start with the absolute simplest things and make sure when guests ask a question, it gets it right, or it just basically says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know that information," or anything like that. Because remember, yeah, people are getting pissed off. I would get pissed off if I start asking basic questions like, "What time are the water slides open?" and it doesn't know. Right? It's got to do that, and then you can add, things like dining reservations and spa reservations and everything eventually. All right, so just start small. And get it right, the first time. And here's the thing, though. The reason I say this could be awesome is because it is a nice, tightly controlled environment. Like MSC controls everything aboard the ship, so it should be easy to, expose everything the concierge needs to answer questions about the ship. One of the things I really wish the chatbots out there could do, like Grok, is basically develop itineraries for you, right? If I were to say, anybody, hey, Grok, I want to go to San Antonio for the weekend, right? And realistically, he should be able to go out and get you airline schedules, train schedules, heck, bus schedules, maybe renting a car, some flight, costs for flights, hotels, all this kind of stuff, and like actually give you a decent itinerary, and then he should be able to, you should be able to tell, oh, and I really need to visit SeaWorld San Antonio. Okay, he should be able to go and look up the hours for SeaWorld San Antonio. They, oh, okay, well, if you take this flight, you can get there the first day, blah, blah, blah. They can't do any of that. And they definitely can't book anything. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to change for a long time because the airlines and the travel companies and everything, they want to keep that to themselves. They want you to go to their website, to book everything. But eventually, wouldn't it be awesome if you could just say, hey, Grok, plan me a weekend in, I don't know, Orlando or something like that? That would be amazing. But unfortunately, we're still stuck. Train schedules, British train schedules. There has to be an easier way. There seriously has to be an easier way. But aboard a ship that they own and can control everything, I think this could absolutely be awesome, right? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I should look at my notes more. MSC, what you really need to do, you need to send somebody, a volunteer, to go to Disney World and use the Disney Genie, or wait, what is it? Whatever it's called now, to see how that works. It is supposed to suggest stuff, which admittedly, I've never used it because I don't need it, right? But kind of that's what you're going for. It should even be able to suggest a day, ask you some questions. Oh, I like music. I like playing trivia. I like doing this. Oh, great. Here is your day. I would do it. I probably would, because then it would save me a lot of thinking. All right. Well, there you go, MSC. I think this could be super, super fun. Start simple, make it better over time. It's in the app, so you can update it constantly. It's got to work, and I look forward to using it. If you need anyone to test, I'm right here. I'm right here in Miami. I can head over anytime. Or if you need anyone to actually test on board live with somebody who knows how to test these things, yeah, anytime, just give me a call. I got you. So if you end up using the MSC Concierge and it does plan your cruise ship day, I hope you really look forward to what it has you doing out of the cabin.